Defence Minister Angie Motshekga finally takes to the podium to answer questions on South African soldiers stuck in Democratic Republic of Congo. Fill up your tanks today, the price of fuel goes up again. And fear grips the transport industry after 2 bus drivers are gunned down in separate incidents in Soweto. And Lucy, at the age of 1.31 million years old, leaves Ethiopia for the rest of the world to see. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
The South African National Defence Force's top brass says it's working hard to repatriate the bodies of South African soldiers who've died in combat in Democratic Republic of Congo. The bodies will be coming home tomorrow. This was confirmed as defence ministers were facing a barrage of questions in Parliament this afternoon over the deployment of SANDF soldiers there. And the EFF has cast doubt over whether the deployment of South African troops is in fact a peacekeeping mission. The party believes the troops are engaged in a full-scale war in DRC against M23 rebels to protect a mineral-rich area.
The DA's Nicholas Gottsal says the Sixth Administration has failed in its duty to properly interrogate the deployment of South African troops to the DRC back in 2023 when it was first informed by President Cyril Ramaphosa. SANDF Chief Rizwani Mapanya has been at pains to point out that the arrangement is part of a SADC peacekeeping mission that includes troops from Tanzania and Malawi. But the EFF's Carl Niehaus insists the mission is an offensive one and that the South African army is ill-equipped.
You sent them to die for the mineral wealth that is being looked after, the mines that are being looked after, that belongs to Cyril Ramaphosa, his family and his friends.
The DA's Chris Hatting also believes Parliament is being duped about a peacekeeping mission. The minister is yet to respond to the claims. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Motorists will have to dig deeper into their pockets to fill up their tanks from tomorrow. The Energy Department has announced increases for both grades of petrol by 82 cents a litre. Diesel will also increase by between R1.01 and R1.05 a litre. This is the second fuel price increase since the start of the year. Spokesperson Robert Marquez says the increases are due to higher oil prices and the weaker rand against the US dollar.
Illuminating paraffin will increase by R1.29 a litre at retail level, and LP gas will increase by 42 cents per kilogram. The freight or shipping costs for LP gas were higher on average during the same period. However, the slate levy remains unchanged at 0 cents per litre in the price structures of both petrol and diesel.
The City of Johannesburg has suspended all Rea Vaya bus operations until further notice and is discussing measures to improve security with law enforcement, the taxi industry and other stakeholders. This follows the murders of 2 Rea Vaya bus drivers in separate shootings in Soweto. The drivers were shot dead while on duty last night, one in Protea Glen and the other in Mapetla. Police are investigating both cases. The motive remains unclear. Minister John Steenhuisen has warned Parliament's Agriculture Committee that banning deadly pesticides like turbofos could trigger crop failure. A joint investigation by the National Institute for Communicable Diseases and the Health Department identified turbofos as the cause of several deaths, including 6 children from Naledi in Soweto. He also warned that a ban could push farmers towards illegal alternatives, escalating the black market trade in turbofos.
It will lead to crop failure because we don't have an alternative to offer our practitioners in the agricultural sector. They're going to end up with crop failures because they won't be able to deal effectively with the pests that turbofos is so effective at doing.
A retrial for former State Security Minister Bongani Bongo has started from scratch today. That's in connection with a bribery matter related to Parliament's 2017 inquiry into state capture at Eskom. Bongo, who's no longer an MP, was acquitted by the Western Cape High Court in 2021 over lack of evidence by former Judge President John Hlophe. Bongo never testified in the first trial after his legal team applied for a discharge. Hlophe subsequently also dismissed the National Prosecuting Authority's application for leave to appeal the dismissal in 2022. The head of the Anglican Church in Southern Africa, Archbishop Thabo Makgoba, has described as scathing a report into the church's role in disclosing child abuse allegations against a church member. A panel headed by retired Judge Ian Farlam has found the church failed to disclose allegations of child abuse against John Smith. Smith fled the UK and Zimbabwe in the 80s and 90s after being accused of child abuse. Smith came to Durban in 2001 and joined a diocese of the Anglican Church before going to Cape Town, where he died in 2018.
I and the diocese apologize to our congregants and the wider community that we did not protect people from that risk.
Tributes are pouring in following news of the passing of South African billionaire Douw Steyn. His family has confirmed that the visionary behind Steyn City died at the age of 73 following a long illness. Steyn was best known for his auto and general insurance business in South Africa. He was also a great friend of late former President Nelson Mandela, who stayed at his home following his release from prison. Steyn's business partners say he'll be remembered as an exceptional entrepreneur who built a global business of immense scale across 7 countries. As President Donald Trump prepares to meet with Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu, his first official visit as the new president, Trump has agreed to delay tariffs on Mexico and Canada for a month. That's after both countries pledged to do more to block drugs and migrants. Tariffs of 10% are still set to go into effect on China. And the bone fragments of Lucy, a 3.18 million-year-old human ancestor which rarely leaves Ethiopia, will go on display in Europe for the first time in Prague this year. The ancient remains were discovered in Ethiopia in 1974. The find was, at the time, the most complete ever and revolutionized the understanding of humanity's ancestors. The remains will be presented alongside Selam, the fossil of a baby who was about 100,000 years older than Lucy and found in the same place 25 years later. Don't forget to download the EWN app, and we shall see you for more again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.